Reality radio handcrafted for your listening pleasure. This is LA Talk Live, and we're more than just talk. Stay tuned.
Reaching out to the four corners of the globe and broadcasting to you live from the studios of LA Talk Live in beautiful, sunny Los Angeles, California. Oh my God, what a beautiful day, and Good Friday to you all. It is exactly 4:20, and ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the world's only show that explores the global impact of cannabis throughout California and the world. This is the one and only, the Marijualogist. We've got a live show tonight. We're back. And we've got a special guest live in our studio with a very unique twist on the medical and recreational cannabis movement. She's going to be joining us after this quick educational break. You know, as we are wont to do each and every week, we like to take a moment out to acknowledge our good friends at Law Enforcement Action Partnership, formerly known as Law Enforcement Against Prohibition. Well, they've evolved, and they've got a new program and a new message, and we've got one of their latest messages fresh off the press. So, as we always do, we want you to stay tuned, invite your friends. All you've got to do is go to latalklive.com. It'll take you to americatalklive.com, and you'll see us in live and living color with my esteemed colleague, Ikkor the Wolf, and a very, very special and very lovely guest who is going to be joining us live on the mic right after this educational message. So y'all, man, stay tuned. We'll be right back. More from the Marijualogist, another live show. Don't go away.
Nothing to do with drugs. It's about power. It's about control, coercion.
Used to be that they would have a debate about drug policy. And at one podium would be standing the police officer or the judge, and at the other podium would be the crazy hippie dopey guy who says that drugs should be legalized. You tended to want to side with the professional. And then we created LEAP.
Legalizing drugs? That's the message a new billboard in the metro is advertising.
And you might be surprised to hear who's funding it all.
Well, the group funding the billboard is actually comprised of current and former law enforcement officers.
An unlikely pair now backing efforts to legalize marijuana in Colorado. A retired Denver police lieutenant and a former Lafayette judge.
It may be hard to believe, but this is the face of legalizing drugs.
And now we have changed the dynamic of that debate.
The way we got rid of the crime associated with current
and it would allow local governments to tax it. It's getting support from an unlikely source, former members of law enforcement.
First tonight, former prosecutors, former judges, those people who once enforced the law now say that marijuana should be legal.
Former Yuba County Sheriff's Deputy Nate Bradley says resources wasted on marijuana busts could be better spent elsewhere.
Should marijuana be legal? It also has a law enforcement divide.
This debate is pitting badge against badge.
Tonight, the legalize it side has some reinforcements. It comes from some folks that might surprise you.
They're going around the state with messages like the one delivered to this Rotary Club meeting in Federal Way.
Our war on drugs has failed.
James Doherty is a speaker for a group known as LEAP, or Law Enforcement Against Prohibition. He's a former prosecutor who wants voters to approve Initiative 502.
I think there are a lot of parallels between what happened here on Tuesday and what eventually happened in Prohibition back in the 20s in the United States, and it started state by state.
Neil Franklin, Executive Director of Law Enforcement Against Prohibition, a 3-decade-long career in law enforcement. Sir, thank you very much for your time tonight. You speak with uncommon authority on this subject. Thank you.
Thank you, Rachel.
That is what LEAP brought to the discussion, and that's why we have changed the discussion forever on this issue.
With speakers in over 80 countries, LEAP's credibility and impact are going global.
We put together a declaration and 3 resolutions to submit to the UN Narcotics Control Group we got a lot of things in there that would have never been in there had we not been there. And all about human rights, all about harm reduction, the fact that all drug use isn't necessarily drug abuse, you know.
This is a perfect example of why Law Enforcement Against Prohibition, as an organization of former police officials, criminal justice professionals, is so important to the contribution towards this caravan.
LEAP has also expanded its scope to work with those most affected by the war on drugs, as well as those willing to oppose it.
People don't expect cops and clergy to be on this side of the issue, but in fact we are.
We cannot duck this issue. I couldn't duck it anymore. I couldn't sweep if I wasn't out advocating to get rid of the war on drugs. You can't get to end the war on drugs unless you end prohibition. They couldn't do it with alcohol, and you can't do it with drugs.
They are arrested in wholesale numbers. Corner clearing operations in disregard of the Constitution are routine in my town, where under our present governor, when he was mayor, 27,000 black people on average were arrested each year without being charged with crimes.
4 decades, this year, in the war on drugs, over $1 trillion. There's our healthcare budget. Since 1985, the rate of incarceration has increased by 800%. 800% for black women.
Even in Brazil, we have in the Northeast, there is a marijuana production. And there are children working there, and you don't have labor laws if it's in any legal market.
These are actions that are happening all over the country. Police officers and organizers on the grassroots level are all coming together to say, let's put an end to this really disastrous failed war on drugs.
My name is Karen Hawks. I'm a mother, a Girl Scout leader, a Sunday school teacher, and I served as a Massachusetts State Trooper for 13 years. In Mexico, 10,000 children have been orphaned by violence caused by the illegal drug market, not by the drugs themselves.
She had a negative drug test for marijuana on a probation for shoplifting. Now she's going back to state prison. Now she's giving her children away to somebody that's going to fail, and she's going to lose her children. Is that an appropriate penalty?
Is that protecting our kids?
Is that law protecting our kids?
When LEAP speakers talk about the distorting, corrupting influence of prohibition on their profession, it is from firsthand experience.
We have changed. Law enforcement is no longer about being a peace officer and serving our community. It's about policing people. It engenders a disrespect for a profession that I loved, and our communities don't respect us and they view us as occupiers.
Going after DUI suspects, enforcing domestic violence and child abuse laws. That's what makes police work noble. That's what police work ought to be directed at.
Not once in 20 years did a parent ever turn their child in for drugs. The last thought in the world was to turn this over to the police. They found other ways to deal with that problem, and we as a society should find other ways.
And the core of those other ways is that even the heartbreak of addiction should be treated as a personal or public health issue, never as a criminal one.
Insight is part of a program to bring people who are marginalized out of society, back into society, back into the light of healthcare.
Take your story back to the stage so people can understand that this is a medical situation for you. This is a health issue.
The results of that are amazing. There hasn't been a single overdose death there in 15 years. Imagine all the lives that are saved. AIDS and hepatitis in that country dropped to the lowest rate of any country in Europe because they're not sharing needles anymore. Crime was cut by 60%.
That's the most important.
Yeah.
If American policemen stand up and say these things and put them on the web and have billboards on freeways, so that is really going to help, because there we are in the lion's den, if you like, and these people have guts. I respect that. When I go somewhere to speak, I always make it clear that I am a member of LEAP, and that is where I'm coming from.
If you use that money to create programs that give people hope for the future instead of removing all their hope by arrest and imprisonment, can you imagine how many fewer drug users we'd have?
It's going to take all of us in order to do it, and I just thank God for this setting and being a part of it.
It's just a little herb, oh, it's just a little herb song. It's just a little herb song. Oh, I've been saving.
Like Master P?
Nah.
In his life?
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to tonight's live episode of the world's only show that gets to the very root of the medical cannabis movement throughout California and the globe. It is the one and only, put your hands together, the Marijualogist. We're back live in the studio.
You did.
Let me take a moment out to acknowledge our good friends and esteemed colleagues over at Law Enforcement Action Partnership, formerly known as Law Enforcement Against Prohibition. Have you heard the evolution, the revolution? Have you listened to the message these incredible men and women have been delivering to America for longer than we've been on the air? And we started in 2009, and since day one, they've been behind us, and we are behind them. I've got to take a moment out to acknowledge Peter Criss, Jack Cole, Norm Stampler, Judge Jim Gray. The list goes on, and I don't want to leave James Gierach. We've had all of these gentlemen and quite a many ladies on our show here on The Marijualogist live via Skype. And I just wanted to take a moment out to acknowledge that they've been so generous to allow us to speak to more and more of their national speakers. These are men and women who have served at the very tip of the battle of the drug war. And they always bring us such deep knowledge and so validate what we do here in our dialogue about cannabis. All right, that said, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I am your humble host, Richard Karr. And to my right, as always, my esteemed colleague and co-host, the one them call Ikkor the Wolf.
As I'm over here getting my phone on silence, and it's taking forever, but I got it now, and we good.
Leave it alone. Leave it alone, why don't you?
I don't want it to be sounding off during the show, you know?
In the background, the sounds of the mighty Oswald. It's just that simple. It's just a little herb.
Just a little herb.
A little plant. You can stick a funky little seed in the ground, and that seed will grow on up and become
something nice.
A medicine.
Like they say, got that killer.
Right? Yeah.
But who wants that killer, huh? Who wants
But not
that
that.
killer?
Something
You want
else.
that good. Got that good.
All right, so, as we say in Pinochle, you got to wait. So why don't you take a moment out to acknowledge and welcome our guest tonight who joins us here live in the studio.
Ladies and gentlemen, all the way by way of Tulsa, Oklahoma, and Paraguay, just touching back down into the States. And we so blessed to have this pretty face at LA Talk Live on a Friday night on The Marijualogist. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for J Train, J3, J Cube, Jana in the building, getting with her marijuana mindfulness self. What's your marijuana mindfulness self? What up, though, mama? How you doing?
Thank you. I love it.
All right,
I'm doing great.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying the vibe
Your
here.
smile shows that you're doing great.
Yep. So, Ikkor, we got to take a moment out, too, man, to acknowledge our guest from last week.
No doubt.
What a show that was.
Oh,
huh?
yeah, that was
Oh,
turned
my
up.
God. So let me give a shout out to Eddie Funkster.
Eddie Funkster.
The one and only Eddie Funkster, breeder, consultant, and author. Go to funksterwestcoast.com for more information. we're going to have him back in the studio.
No doubt. He had a lot of knowledge, man. I mean, don't get it confused with Eddie Munster. It's Eddie Funkster.
Eddie Funkster.
You dig?
And Funkster West Coast, once again, that is Funkster.
FUNXTA.
westcoast.com. Look him up on, you can mistype that on Google and still find out who he is.
Man,
he's
believe
extremely
it.
popular.
Very popular guy.
All right, so check this out. But, you know, we also had coming in at 6'1", 180 pounds, one of the biostimulant professors from Pure Grow, HR Trey Maxwell. All right, we
sound like a basketball name.
We're
Trey
messing this up.
Maxwell.
So we had Trey Maxwell on from Pure Grow as well.
Oh, Trey Maxwell?
Right, and he's got a website as well. Let me give that out. It's www.puregrow, just as it's spelled, puregrow.org. And he is a nonprofit organization, and he's one of the operation managers over at Pure Grow. And they do biostimulants. Go to their website. You'd be fascinated. It's not just for the medication. It's also for the vegetation, meaning that if you want to grow some really good vegetables, you want to contact them.
Yeah.
And again, I'm going to give them a plug.
Not just-
puregrow.org.
Not just good vegetables. I'm talking about like fresh, no pesticide type
Right.
of no, just pure organic. You
The
know
right
what I
way.
mean? And spiritual as well.
I love that. I have my garden at home, growing some stuff now. Yeah.
Well, you just hold on there,
Yes.
young lady, because I've got a couple of more plugs to give.
all
Mary
that.
Carrion, who is the
Good shit
contributing
over there.
writer over at OC Weekly.
OC Weekly.
And she has her own website.
She got it going on.
Right? It's called Pot Plus, just like it's spelled, Pot Plus. So Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And if you
Fit.
go to OC Weekly and click on the marijuana tab there, I've been there, I've seen it, it works. You'll see her, that'll link you right to her site. She's got so many incredible articles and experts on her site, cannabis news, reviews, and culture. It's your guide too. It's called Pot Plus. Give up my
Pot
camera for
Plus.
you, girl. She cute too. Let's
Yeah.
keep it real. She real
Mary
cute, right?
Carey, yeah, very cute.
Very cute. Mary, hope you're listening.
Mary, carry on.
All right. So now swing it back
On
to
with
you,
your
my
day.
brother. Back in the studio with you and our lovely guests.
Yes.
Once again,
We keep a lovely on the show.
the official introduction. Why don't you?
The Marijualogist is like, this is the eye candy show, I guess, huh? You know what I mean? Because we have a lot of like lovely ladies, and so you got the gentleman here, the respectful gentleman. I can't say lovely gentleman, you know what I'm saying? The respectful gentleman. So therefore, our show is particularly cannabis sexy. You know what I mean? So
I dig it.
you know what I mean? And we just so gracious and blessed to have you as an additive to this pot of gumbo. Oh, get that pot of gumbo. No pun intended. Yes, it is a pun intended.
I'm glad to be here. Yes.
I thought I ruined last week's introductions, but that was truly a massacre. Jana J. Johnson joins us from Marijuana Mindfulness, Elevated Guided Meditation Classes.
We know this is a cannabis
And
show
she's got some events coming up as
because
well.
we already said that.
You already said
earlier.
that, right?
Yeah, we said all that.
I had to
earlier.
plug it again. I had to do it in my own
all
voice.
good. I love
She
it.
might, she might want to go back and edit this and get
So
me in
therefore,
there.
my introduction was not that. That was just some
I just
that
nullified
was just
that.
rhetoric.
They were both great.
That was just
I
conversation
just
on the
slapped
show.
it out
right
the
there.
air.
You know what I mean?
Like
that was just true conversation.
So once again,
during the
Jana,
show.
welcome back to the show.
That was
Thank you.
engagement.
Thank you.
That was engagement.
We got to get involved with Jana here because she's come a long way to talk to us about marijuana mindfulness. And
Yeah.
Ikkor, I know you've got some questions right off the top because before we got back live to the show during the break,
Yes, I got some
you guys were
questions.
talking.
Yeah, I do. I got some
So
questions.
stay close to your microphone there.
No doubt. Y'all, who me?
No,
Oh,
Jana.
I'm saying I'm in there.
I'm here.
Yeah,
I'm
there we
in
go.
locked and barrel. But yeah, we have like a kaleidoscope of bottles up in here, little vials,
Yeah. So
and they're all healthy, smelling good. There's nothing negative about any of these
Yeah.
bottles. Even the colors are not negative. You know what I mean?
yes, and they are plant-based, just like cannabis. And so yeah, I am creating a holistic wellness space called Royal Purple House, and it really is about highlighting the power of cannabis, of essential oils, and using that in conjunction with other holistic practices and products. Mainly, like you were speaking to, marijuana mindfulness is the practice of meditation and guided meditation with the use of cannabis, with the use of these essential oils and aromatherapy, and you have that holistic mind, body, spirit experience.
Right.
And so, I can show a couple of these oils that we have burning here, diffusing in the air.
All right, so let's get to the whole mind-body connection of it, because when you talk about yoga, right?
Yeah.
And then you combine the cannabis to it.
Yeah.
I'm curious to know whether that helps people loosen up even more.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do they feel more relaxed? Are they
Yes.
able to reach some of those difficult positions?
Yeah.
Right?
So this is there's meditation, which is usually in a comfortable seated position, and I'll show here these.
Oh, I'm reading this. Go ahead.
And then also I co-host with another beautiful cannabis enthusiast,
And who?
Manelli. She does.
Shout out to Manelli.
Shout out to Manelli. She does cannabis enhanced yoga. So the two of us have collaborated. And we now host a cannabis-enhanced yoga and meditation class.
Nice.
It's a beautiful space. We've done it twice now, and we're doing it every other Saturday. That's what this information shares. And it's really just a sanctuary, as we call it, of cannabis rituals, of self-care, self-love.
Is it mainly women at these events? Or
It
is
is
it both?
men and women.
Nice.
It's really about even.
Okay, well, look.
Why wouldn't it be? Because I tell you, man, I want to go myself.
Yeah, both at my meditation classes. At her,
Can you imagine?
she does yoga on her own, and then we have these combined classes.
They got the masseuse, the masseuse there as well?
Yeah, we're going to get that in there. But we definitely do hands-on adjustments that feel great and that are heart-opening.
Stand your microphone.
Yes. And it's really a holistic experience of love and self-care. Yeah.
So let me read this here. This is the
Sure.
Marijuana Mindfulness Elevated Guided Meditation class, and to
Yes.
deepen your meditation practice with cannabis and community. Now join us for the upcoming classes at 10 a.m. on the following dates. That's Saturday, July 29th.
Tomorrow.
Which is tomorrow. Sunday, August 6th. Saturday, August 19th. And Saturday, August the 26th.
Yep.
Now this is what I read, which is so beautiful. You get community conversation. You get complimentary cannabis. I stopped right there.
Right there.
Right
that
there.
Part.
That part.
I'm there.
Yeah.
I said,
So
you know how
there.
many people
So
are like
there.
the hood gonna show up all the little home
No, don't
girls
say
like
that. Don't say that.
I'm
Don't
like,
say that.
well, girl, they giving out bags.
No,
I'm just messing
It's
around.
not like that.
It's not like that.
But that's really part of that
You know, we got to
cannabis
put we got to
culture,
add a little,
definitely.
little
Yeah.
comedy to it. But anyway, but I'm serious though. It's like complimentary cannabis. That's beautiful because a lot of events don't do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
And and I'm connecting with a lot of entrepreneurs in the city who are doing some dope stuff, and that's part of it. You really have to cater to the community.
Exactly.
And the community wants to smoke. They want to commune in that way.
Exactly.
And so
that brings people together too.
Right. Exactly. And that's part of that community aspect of it that I love.
So you guys doing what pre-rolls and stuff like that?
So actually, at both the meditations and the yoga and meditation, there's about 20 minutes before we get into the practice where we're just mingling. People are settling
That's
into
the
the
moment.
space, and
That's
we
when the
have
go
blunts
down.
in rotation.
There it is.
And people bring their own cannabis too,
Right.
even though we provide it. People bring
Fellowshipping.
it. That's part of it, right?
Fellowshipping.
And it's love. People enjoy sharing their
Exactly.
favorite
Here, taste this,
strains,
taste
yeah,
that.
and smoking in their favorite way. Everyone doesn't smoke blunts.
Right.
Everyone doesn't
Bowls.
do joints
Right.
or bowls. So we embrace that. We also have edibles. We
That's what I was
always have
gonna
a
say.
drink at the cannabis and at the yoga one.
Right.
We have we've been using a moonshine is what it's called, but it's really THC infused apple juice.
Okay.
And it's delicious and it
Apple
feels
juice?
good. Apple juice.
Did you say
yes.
apple juice?
I said
Apple
apple
juice.
juice.
That's that Tulsa in it.
That's that Tulsa, right?
But look, they got
love apple juice.
they got healthy snacks.
Yeah.
And so deepen your self-awareness
Yeah.
and spend some time of self-care with marijuana enhanced guided meditation.
Yep.
It's at a private residence.
Yep.
So you have to RSVP online at Royal Purple House. Again, royalpurplehouse.com/classes.
Yep. That's the way to go.
Or text 918-506-0127. Again, that's 918-506-0127. That's not. I'm just playing.
Yes. The website will be more informative. It has all the class descriptions and the dates and everything. And you can even prepay online and reserve your space because space is limited for both settings. And it's meant to be that intimate vibe and communal in that way. So definitely reserve your space. And then that's when you'll get the exact address details.
Well, now I've got to imagine this is quite a multicultural setting as well.
Absolutely.
Because I know that there probably some brothers and sisters out there who don't mind bringing and sharing.
Believe it.
But that probably is not the entire class.
And you get all this for $10. And you get all this for $10.
So that means that there are other people.
Yeah.
Come on.
And I think this is important to point out
Yes.
that other people are coming to that class and they're bringing medicine from their diverse cultures. And again, this is not a smoke out. This is not for stoners.
Yeah.
This is for serious
This is
people
for the mind, for the
who
minds.
really want to push them,
It's for elevated mindsets.
Yeah, the
mind
holistic
soul
wellness
membrane.
piece of it, which includes that recreation and that
is a
fun piece of it, but it's
Yeah.
definitely bigger than that.
It's way deeper than that.
And I do just want to clarify
Deepen your self-awareness.
The meditations that I host every Saturday is $10. Yes, the yoga and meditation is $30, and that's at a larger studio residence.
Yeah, we didn't
and
speak on that one yet on this.
that's
this
the
flyer.
yoga. But yeah, we're talking about the yoga
This
too.
flyer.
So we'll definitely clarify that. But the dates are clear on there. So, but yeah, it's definitely that communal space of full body, mind, spirit, self-awareness. Yeah.
Let's take a moment out of self-awareness and acknowledge one of our returning champions to the studio tonight. We've got Mr. Ilya Daly.
Yeah.
Joins us live in the studio here on a rare occasion on the Marijualogist.
Ilya.
And we also want to thank him, in fact, for introducing, you and us.
Yes, definitely.
And that was a great connection
Yeah.
because I got to tell you, you're in the right place. And
At the right
especially
time.
yeah.
You're in the right place.
That's kind of how that works.
At the right time. You're supposed to put on that music at the right place. This is for you, James. This is going out to you, James. And Jay. At the right place.
Thank you. But yes, I
right
totally
time.
agree. I
Right.
love the collaboration. I love the space that you all have created, are continuing to create, the platform,
You're
and the
helping
stuff
build
you
it
talk
right
about.
now. You're helping to build it right now
Thank
just by
you.
your presence.
Yeah, thank you.
I think one of the things.
Now get out! No, I'm just playing.
I just want to say I'm kind of shivering just because I'm cold. So I'm not like.
You can't be
that's
that
all.
cold.
No, you so cold. You got changed for Ice Cube, girl. You just cold. Your game cold. Look at all this product.
Like,
Your
I'm
game
okay.
cold.
If you see me shivering, I'm okay.
That's what she's saying, y'all. She's saying I'm cold. You know what I'm saying? Like in a pimp way. I'm cold. You understand? Tell him, James. You know what I'm saying? Suck her teeth and hit her fingernail. Tell her, James.
The funny guy.
Light it up. Light it up.
I have to apologize. I wanted to ask you,
Mhm.
isn't there a cannabis that maybe warms you up a little bit? You got to imagine with all the types of medicine that's out there, there's got to be one that ignites the soul a little bit, kind of. Maybe we can blend some cannabis with some
With that
chili
golden
peppers or
gorilla, that
something
golden
like
Yeah,
that.
I was gonna say actually. So I have these essential oils over here.
Right.
Peppermint is the oil that's really invigorating, as well as like lemon and other citrus ones.
Right.
I'm gonna put that in the diffuser.
Lemon
but
balm.
I use these with the meditation. We use it in the yoga classes as well as part of our adjustment. So it's in your space. You're smelling it, and it's diffusing in the air. And
what part
it
of the
really-
adjustment part?
So-
What's that work with?
Sure. So in yoga, when Manelli does her piece, she does adjustments in the different yoga poses. So, but also in the meditation, because it's usually a comfortable seated position, I do some heart opening, and it's just gentle touching, and it really enhances that contact piece of it, that connection with self and with those around you, because you are in a communal space, and then also it just helps you kind of settle in a little bit more into your body, which the cannabis that's really the biggest piece of that too. The relaxing of your body, the
CBD,
calming
the
of your
CBD that's
mind.
in it.
Yeah, we
That's
have
actually-
CBD oil always there as well. Not only for its own just mellow, chill effect, but also it counters the effects of THC if you're feeling a little bit too high. Because when you're moving and when you're in deep stillness, your space mentally, physically, it's different.
Exactly.
And so it's even more enhanced if you're using cannabis. So we definitely have CBD on tap for those who may want to kind of counter those effects a bit.
Right.
Yeah.
And now
This woman got knowledge here, ladies and gentlemen. Now,
with the various essential oils that you brought with you tonight,
Yeah.
you're actually cleansing our environment.
Yes, you
I
are.
gather you sense that there is a need for that. But not in a bad way.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
You know,
I bring oils. I bring
Yeah.
oils and herb everywhere I go.
We've had a
Oils and
lot of
herb.
Oils and
Oils and
urban
herb, yeah.
oils. Urban
we've
oils.
had a lot of spirits
That's a new company name. Urban Oils.
Urban oils.
come through our studio.
Yeah.
And all positive. You know,
Yeah.
It's interesting that we're in a space, it's a broadcast studio.
Mhm.
It's a little different from what people are normally used to when they go to a radio station. We're internet
Mhm.
broadcast, we do the video, you can see us live and in living color. But the
Mhm.
bricks on the wall always seem to stand out most of all to people, and those are real bricks.
Yeah.
Real
and
bricks.
and you're part of that now.
Yeah.
Your energy will be sustained
Yeah,
for
absolutely.
days.
In those
we
bricks.
will
Absolutely.
we will intone your name
Mhm.
to other broadcasters and share what what we feel tonight about you being on our show. We'll say to other people, I've got somebody you might want to have on your show.
Yeah.
And that will help you get your message out as
I love
well.
it.
I think it's very unique. Marijuana mindfulness.
Yeah.
Plug it again. Give out the details on how people can connect with you.
Marijuana mindfulness is really a space of self-care, self-awareness, self-love. And it's in a communal shared space where you can safely consume and legally consume of marijuana, where you can converse with other people. And I love talking and smoking because you always gems just fly out.
Believe it.
Gems fly.
Jewels
and
flying
I love
everywhere.
it. Yeah. So there's space for that before and after the practice. And then when you get into the practice, it's really about your own personal practice, your own space, whether it's in stillness and meditation or it's in mindful movement and yoga. It's your body, your mind that you are aware of internally, present in that space, and you're being mindful of the effects of cannabis with that enhances that, being mindful of the thoughts and emotions that are coming up.
Now,
Yeah.
we know off camera
Uh-huh.
that you went to Columbia University.
Yes.
This is a Columbia graduate speaking, ladies and
This is
gentlemen.
hilarious.
So
Well, let's give her a rousing round of
no
applause.
doubt, no
There
doubt.
you go. There you
So we
go.
got to big up to that. You know,
Thank you.
I went to Fisk University.
Okay.
And my question to you
Yeah.
is, what was your major in college?
I majored in psychology.
I did too.
Yeah.
Nice. So now my next question is, what led you to the whole? Were you always a smoker? Did you always smoke recreationally when you were young,
man,
and
that
it just led you into this,
question.
or did you were you always was against it at one point in your life, and then you saw the light at one point, met somebody who said, "Hey, look," or
Oh.
was it a situation that made you? What was it?
I am in this long-time relationship with cannabis, and it has changed over the years, and it has come and gone. And so from the beginning, like the very first time, I was not open to doing it. I did it because my boyfriend at the time wanted me to do it. And,
Right.
but in my mind, it was like this bad thing that you
Peer
shouldn't
pressure, I
do.
didn't do.
So
I'm going to hell.
because I had that mindset, but I did it anyway. I'm like, we're at this drive-in movie in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So we're in the car. I take a hit, not knowing I'm doing and not feeling great about it.
Right.
And then I'm just like, okay. And then I start busting out laughing, just hilarious. Just
I'm feeling
like
good
a little
right now.
kid, but I wasn't enjoying it.
Right.
It was scary to me.
Right.
It was what? I don't have control over this laughter.
Quick next question.
Yeah.
That at that moment, was it a blunt?
I don't even remember. It was probably I don't even remember. I
Okay.
just know it was something rolled up.
Reason why I ask that, because a lot of people when they smoke their first blunt, they
Yeah.
have this particular reaction.
Yeah.
Being it's the tobacco paper.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just like a cigarette
You already
sake.
have-
For a cigarette sake, you get lightheaded.
Yeah.
So that's what it does for
Yeah.
you. Because it did me the same way. And I was I thought I was dying that night. I said,
Yep.
man, take me back
Yep.
to campus. I'm dying. Take me back to my dorm room. So I could die in my
Yeah.
dorm room. In my
Yeah.
room. I told him that.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on, but
But in hindsight-
then the next day I
I've
said,
got to
let's
ask.
do
Wait,
that again.
Yeah.
Let's not glaze over that.
Yeah, exactly.
He said he wanted to die. Take me back to my
My
room.
dorm
to
room. So I died
die.
in my dorm room.
Wow.
Because I was tripping, but it was the
Right.
tobacco paper.
Okay.
And then the next day,
My
I was
esteemed colleague,
look,
that's got to be
the-
probably one of the most depressing things I've heard all week.
And then the next day,
Yeah, it is.
I said, Man, let's do that again.
right. Yeah, it's crazy. I can say though, in hindsight, that was not a pleasant experience for me that first time because I mean the holistic is real. I wasn't with it mentally. I wasn't feeling it. I did it only because like I was really in that peer pressure situation, and I allowed myself to succumb to that at the time.
Do it, Mary.
Right. But in that situation, yeah, even though I'm sitting here laughing, I'm like, this is horrible. Like, I'm out of control, right?
I can't
So
control this.
that was like high school. I didn't smoke again.
You shut down from that.
Yeah, I didn't smoke again until college.
Most people always have that reaction like that.
But again, that's why now
your receptors weren't ready.
The education piece of it and the information that we put out is so important because people who are new to cannabis, like you shouldn't engage in it if you don't think it's going to be something good for you.
Right.
And that's where I was at that time. You shouldn't engage in anything that you don't think is going to be good for you.
Of course.
That's honest and true.
So you bounce back.
Yeah, exactly.
So
but if you're curious about cannabis in a fun, playful, maybe health related, maybe just want to have fun and let loose and relax a little bit, maybe anything. But if you're curious in a positive way and you're open to it with the right setting, right people, right situation, right herb, right mindset, like that whole setting, then you'll have an amazing experience.
No doubt.
You know, like after that, I had amazing experiences, and my relationship with it matured and grew.
Heightened.
And now I'm in a place where I can speak about it in this way.
Right.
That's very different from how I was.
I was
with
saying,
it
I think 10 years ago,
exactly.
20 years ago, you was like,
it was
not even in nowhere in this direction.
Yeah, not at all. But I can say though, the similarity is still being able to recognize that space of just kind of freedom and just kind of like being out of the noise of the world, I think.
Now, did you, how do your parents feel about this? I mean, are they still alive before? I mean, I don't know.
My parents are alive. They both know I consume cannabis. They're
watching right now.
I hope they're
watching
not
right now. Sorry, Mom. Sorry, Dad.
They love and
we did not corrupt
me.
her.
Well, let's keep it real. If not now,
Yes.
at some point they may seek you out and say, "Hey, girl,
where's
my
that?
doctor told
Where's
me
that? Where that's at? Where that's at?
Yeah.
Where that gorilla go? That golden gorilla.
Yeah, right. It's actually really
no more shame.
interesting.
No more shame.
Yeah, no more shame. What's really a big part of my life, my dad, and I hope he doesn't mind me sharing this, but I think it's okay. We've talked about this. He had issues with drug abuse in his past.
Okay.
He's been clean for, I don't know, all my life that I know. Because
All
all
right,
my life that I know, growing up, I would go to these AA and NA meetings with him. And it was such this like culture of brotherhood and love and just like, that sticks with me forever. I thank him forever for allowing me to be in that space.
Big ups to
Me and
Dad
my
for
sister
going
would
sober.
go to these.
Give it up to him.
Yeah, when we.
He clean now. He used a lot of Dove soap.
Right. But it's funny. When I was living in New York, there was one day he was visiting me. He's in D.C. And the apartment was just smelling like weed. I had never talked to him about it before.
He said, "Girl, how come you ain't pass it to me? How come you ain't wait for me?"
No.
He said, "Jen," I said, "Jen, get in this room right now."
Was that mine or yours you smoking?
Right. He said, "Why didn't you wait for me?" That's some good.
But no, he was like, wait. He's just like, man, come on now. He just kind of like, okay, like laughed at,
Right.
just,
cooking
that
the
realism.
ham. I'm
Like he
cooking the
wasn't
ham.
mad. It was just like, okay, but I was over 21 at the time. I was out of college. So,
Right.
but anyway.
I'm grown. What you talking about, Dad?
Yeah. But that's definitely something that sticks with me because I appreciate that he still supports what I'm doing with it, even though it's not something he consumes himself.
Right.
So yeah.
Get them up on CBDs.
Yeah,
CBDs
that too.
That's gonna
Yeah.
that creates longevity in life.
Yeah.
Keeps a lot of
Definitely.
ailments.
The
and a whole bunch
oils
of
and
different
other
things
ways
away,
to consume it. Yeah.
Edibles.
Yeah.
But I would more or less say the pure. Oils, the
True.
the
Yeah.
CBD.
Yeah.
But
But I know
and
my
they
dad
say-
and people obviously who have dealt with addiction and who call themselves in recovery, they're not trying to do anything that
Let them have that,
stimulates
let
anything.
them have that cancer. And
Yeah,
and
like
they
they're
give
good.
That cancer.
Yeah.
And the doctor said, "Hey, you're gonna need them CBDs," and they ain't gonna give you no euphoric feel anyway. So it won't give them no psychotropic feel. All it's gonna do is
That's real.
heal you.
That's real.
It's gonna heal your pops.
That's real.
Know
Hey,
that.
you're talking to my dad right now. So
I
I'm gonna
think
let
the
that
moment
ride.
has arrived that we should take ourselves a little break,
All right.
right?
Sure.
You're listening to The Marijualogist, the world's only show that explores the global impact of cannabis throughout California and the entire world. Your humble host, Richard Karr, esteemed colleague, Ikkor the Wolf. You might know him from such shows as The Wolf's Den.
Next week.
First Fridays, 8 p.m. Pacific, right
August
here
4th.
on LA Talk Live.
Got
Live
some hot
performances.
artists coming in, bringing some live bands. And
Get yourself featured.
artists coming in from Georgia, coming in,
And
flying
get
in, and get
noticed.
live. We get live.
I even rap during that show sometimes.
Yeah, Rich be getting live on the
That's how I
mic.
get down. I'm fat.
On the Wolf's Den.
And every now and then I eat a little
Philly
cup
in
of
me.
cake.
Yeah.
We got Ilya in the house. What you gonna say? You ain't got nothing to say. Okay, let's leave it alone.
He got a Coke in his hand.
I messed it up again. I know. Jeez. All right, so let's get to the break, and we'll get Ilya on the mic a little later on in this show. Ilya Daly,
Illmatic.
our good friend. So we'll be back. Don't go away. The lovely, lovely Jana joins us from Marijuana Mindfulness.
Jana.
Go to her website.
You want to
Give
put
it
his
out.
French in it.
RoyalPurpleHouse.com.
All right.
You
here we go.
did.
We'll be back right after this.
Them colors, royal colors.
If an emergency happened or something like that, the only thing I'm packing is food in a sack. Cause it's mandatory that I gotta be stoned. Like Ice Cube said, once again it's on. It's a fucked up feeling when you're California fiending. If you smoke blood, you know exactly what I'm meaning. Open up your jar when you trip cause it's empty. But the night before you could've swore you had plenty. With no connects and don't know what to do. So you try to drink a 40 as a substitute. But it doesn't feel the same as that Mary Jane. Creeping up real slow. And I've been at the bottom feeling just like a peasant. Saving all my roaches and scraping on my resin. I smoke so much weed that I sweat THC. A day without herb, I can never let it be.
Oh, why did I smoke you up, smoke you up, smoke you up, smoke you up? Oh, why did I smoke you up, smoke you up and not leave enough? Oh, I was over at a C-tone. Damn, it must have slipped my head. Instead of packing like a pack rat, I was packing like a fat cat instead. Can't believe I did it once again. A fucked up habit that I got. I always do it to myself. I'm always smoking on my pot. I got no options, I could call a weedman from the streets. But it's a Monday and it's 6 a.m. before his peak. That's fucking weak, I need some weed. A long morning, THC free. I can't believe I got no marijuana for my brain. I always do this cause I need a blunt's my fucking name. I need to go at 10 a.m. I pull up to the front, guess what? They're open. Oh, why did I smoke you up, smoke you up, smoke you up, smoke you up? Oh, why did I smoke you up, smoke you up, smoke you up and not leave enough? Smoke you up, smoke you up, smoke you up, smoke you up. Smoke you up and not leave enough.
Waking up in the morning with a hangover, cause I don't think I ever went one day sober. I wake and bake in the morning like a straight soldier, and blaze doja till my brain's in a straight coma. I treat it like it's a race in the Daytona, and feel like how you feel when you take 8 somas. I smoke a blunt to a roach and I'm still smoking, riding this bitch till the fucking wheels broken. There's no puff puff, it's just puff pass, cause if I puff, I'm handing you just that. That's how it's been ever since I was 18. I pack up another fresh bow and take green. There's no babysitting it, we baseballing it, cause all that talking does is waste all of it. I break down a bunch of weed and got the swisher broke. Roll it up, light it up, man, we fix the smoke. 1 blunt, 3 blunt, 5 blunt smoke. Hot box in the car, rolling up the window. 6 bowls, 8 bowls, 9 bowls smoke. Hot box in the car, smoking up the endo. 1 blunt, 3 blunt, 5 blunt smoke. Hot box in the car, rolling up the window. 6 box in a Monte Carlo. I take a hit from the split, say goodbye to sorrow. Blazing cigarros, get high like I'm Dave Navarro. Cause when it comes to smoking weed, I'm a general. You talking about smoking blunts, I smoke 10 of those. And break down a 50 bag of kush in a bowl. I smoke that kush you only find in high time centerfold. I be smoking on that skunky shit with a kid. You feel like you just got hit by a monkey with a braid. The room's filled up with so much smoke it blows the roof off. Cause I smoke like trains, I smoke like I'm Snoop Dogg. There's no babysitting it, we baseballing it. Cause all that talking does is waste all of it. I break down a bunch of weed and got the swisher, bro. Roll it up, light it up, man, we fix the smoke. 1 blunt, 3 blunt, 5 blunt smoke. Hot box in the car, rolling up the window. 6 bowls, 8 bowls, 9 bowls smoke. Hot box in the car, smoking up the endo. 1 blunt, 3 blunt, 5 blunt smoke. Hot box in the car, rolling up the window. 6 bowls, 8 bowls, 9 bowls smoke. Hot box in the car, smoking up the endo. Cruising down the street, smoking a blunt. Hot box in the car, got me open and stuff. I lit the cherry up like I turned the flare on and share crime. Smoke it up out of my honey bear bong. I take a hit on the hour every hour for at least an hour. Unleash the power of the green reefer flower. I keep smoking even though there's no getting higher. Firefighters approach us cause they think my shit's on fire. I smoke a couple bags with you with some hash and goo. And smoke like the weekend on a Sunday afternoon. It don't stop 24/7 smoking some dro pot. Cause I smoke just like mechanical robots. There's no babysitting it, we baseballing it. Cause all that talking does is waste all of it. I break down a bunch of weed and got the swisher, bro. Roll it up, light it up, man, we fix the smoke. 1 blunt, 3 blunt, 5 blunt smoke. Hot box in the car, rolling up the window. 6 bowls, 8 bowls, 9 bowls smoke. Hot box in the car, smoking up the endo. 1 blunt, 3 blunt, 5 blunt smoke. Hot box in the car, rolling up the window. 6 bowls, 8 bowls, 9 bowls smoke. Hot box in the car, smoking up the endo. 1 blunt, 3 blunt, 5 blunt smoke. Hot box in the car, rolling up the window. 6 bowls, 8 bowls, 9 bowls smoke. Hot box in the car, smoking up the endo. 1 blunt, 3 blunt, 5 blunt smoke. Hot box in the car, rolling up the window. 6 bowls, 8 bowls, 9 bowls smoke. Hot box in the car, smoking up the endo.
Just 'cause I didn't say that I wanted smoke, don't mean that I don't want to. Don't mean that I don't want to.
I know you do.
Just 'cause I didn't say that I wanted smoke, don't mean that I don't want to. Don't mean that I don't want to.
Come smoke with me. Come smoke with me. Got kush, got sour, homie, low key. Sativa in the day, at night I'm off that OG. I spin a check, make it right back. Ball too hard, I need an ice pack. Yeah, but the game to be sold, nigga, not told. A nigga gotta rock it for the game so cold. Got them Japanese beans, Brody so blow. Eyes low, let the tie blow. You tell your homegirls you don't, but baby I know for sure. Smoke it up, then the fun go down. How you do when that sun go down and the smoke go around? How it go when your clothes hit the ground? I beat it up like it stole something. You caked up, let me hold something. I blow it out, then we smoke something, and we can keep it on the low. And don't nobody need to know nothing. Now let's smoke.
Just 'cause I didn't say that I wanted smoke, don't mean that I don't want to. Don't mean that I don't want to. Just 'cause I didn't say that I wanted smoke, don't mean that I don't want to. Don't mean that I don't want to.
Let's ride. Here we go. That California smoke. I got the kind of dope to make a G nigga choke. Couple tokes out of backwood. Roll a king size that cause the doty tastes that good. Playboy on the grind, fly chick on my side. Blowing that Obama OG out a nigga ride. Presidential down PCH. Mandatory haters never want to see me straight. Stay high on the low, sticky icky dro. Give a herb a pass like Proposition 64. 5 J's in my case stash. No, you can't hit my smoke if your breath smell like straight ass. Need weed, hit the spot, flavors
like soda pop. Always got a blaze 20 minutes after 4 o'clock. Wanna smoke, girl, you know who to call. And when a nigga wanna stroke, yeah, I know who to call. And that's you.
Just 'cause I didn't say that I wanted to smoke. Don't mean that I don't want to. Don't mean that I don't want to.
I know you do.
Just 'cause I didn't say that I wanted to smoke. Don't mean that I don't want to. Don't mean that I don't want to.
Bad bitch wanna smoke. You say you want a nigga with the business, but you caught up in your feelings, and the nigga wanna keep it on the low. And I just wanna smoke. I just wanna smoke. Come smoke with me.
Know you wanna smoke with a nigga.
Come smoke with me. Come smoke with me. Come smoke with me.
Hear this. Leaders of all nation, man. This is my warning to all on oath. We cut down the hard drugs on the land. Look out. Being them in the one. Who know fi legalize the herb? How do we get rid of the crackhead them? Me tell them to legalize the herb. How do we get rid of the cocaine them? Now look and no listen. Say we having a conference tonight. And the conference is to see that sense to me the legalize. So I say come on. Let's reason about sense in me and we could understand. So no feed us legalize the herb. I no get rid of the crackhead them. We no legalize the herb. How do we get rid of the cocaine them? Because the same thing where you're going in all the world now, my friend. If we no legalize the herb, me say nothing we end. Not through the herb, we no get sentenced for it, my friend. We can't take them sin thing, we no want it again. When the herb legalized, we not go show off, my friend. We not go burn no big spliff in front of the police, them. We not go burn no spliff in the courthouse, my friend. But we want to burn with spliff on every now and every then. The same respect we have for them when it's illegal, my friend. Had the same respect and manners we have show for them. Who no legalize the herb, and who no get rid of the crackhead them. Never gonna legalize the herb, and who no get rid of the heroin man them. Because no listen me right now, me say it no murmur. When you no get them, you think you're rasta. Me say all drugs mash up every youth structure. It'll destroy the world and me say all over. Me talking to the English, the man America. Me talking to Canadian down to South Africa. Me talking most of all to me people in Jamaica. Now me leader opposition and me prime minister. President, the Queen of England too. Who know me utter? Who no legalize the herb? And who no get rid of the crackhead them? So who no listen me? We're having a conference tonight. And the conference is to wipe out the coke and the crack pipe. So come on, everyone. Let's get rid of all drugs the best we can. So make we legalize the herb, and we get rid of the heroin them. Because you me know drugs I get so high. This your one year in a nice, you know I. The one when name ice will freeze your brains to the sky. But hear me now and when me come around the corner, heroin make you turn in a them freak rasta. When you lick a ball of crack, me say me no know where you are devour. You might get dead by a shock or tractor. If you take a snort of coke, me say that no joke. It make a man lick up your head and you a take it for joke. Who no legalize the herb? I wanna get rid of them system, them my friend. Me say, listen me Prime Minister and President. Me come from down with a lot of argument. And in a my road, you no put confident. If you no legalize the herb and sell it to a million. And take tax, me say, half herb man. You no cut out our drugs and you no understand. You no sell it to the English, to the American. And send it to the doctor in the lab now, Jaman. Make them check out sense in me say one by one.
Are still going to remove from society many of our more annoying citizens permanently. First group, Drug addicts, not all of them don't get nervous. I'm not gonna bother first offenders. People deserve a chance to clean up. Everyone will get 12 chances to clean up. 15, that's fine, and that's it. If you can't make it in 15 tries, off you go to Colorado. A perfect place for staying loaded. Each week, all of the illegal drugs confiscated in the United States that the police and DEA don't keep for their own personal use will be airdropped into Colorado. And everyone can stay wasted, wired, stoned, bombed, hammered, smashed, and shit-faced round the clock. This is the real Rocky Mountain High.
Marijuana is something they need to legalize for medical reasons, cause it's helping so many people's lives. It helps me free my mind inside these evil times, trying to adapt when you're trapped behind enemy lines. Anyone that smokes will meet me up at Pomona Park, so we can gather up enough for 10 million men slaughter bars. We're gonna have a big ass smoke out on Capitol Hill, so they're legalizing 420 and passing our bill. They check my phone, they try to shut me down, they split my dome, cause over 50% of the population's getting stoned. It's really stupid to make something that's illegal when it's being used by over 75% of the people. Can't get a decent stable job without having to pay some mob. Pray to God that my wisdom native didn't break a clog. And now I'm really fucking hating this law. It's not even a big deal why you even breaking my ball. You don't understand why, and you can see it in his eyes. I wouldn't have to worry if weed was legalized. I wouldn't have to worry if weed was legalized. I wouldn't have to worry if weed was legalized. I said we wouldn't have to worry if weed was legalized. We wouldn't have to worry if weed was legalized.
Imagine that idea. Yeah. So, you know, that was our cannabis-infused break that we took there, and we do that each and every week right here on The Marijualogist. I'm your humble host, Richard Karr, adjusting all of the sounds and waiting for my esteemed colleague, Ikkor the Wolf, to get back on the microphone. We have a very amazing guest in our studio today. We're going to call her Triple J, and I'm going to open up her mic and Ikkor's mic. Are you guys ready to get back on the mic with me?
Ready to rock and roll.
How about that segue? Yep, right there.
Body.
And we're back. It's the Marijualogist every Friday, 4:20 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, right here on the world leader in internet broadcast, LA Talk Live, and the America Talk Live Broadcast Network. Anybody out there confused? Listen, you type in LA Talk Live, and what happens is it goes right to America Talk Live, because America Talk Live is our national umbrella network. And we've got other URLs out there and ways that you guys can connect to us. You know, we're actually live right now on Facebook and Twitter. All you got to do is just go to latalklive.com, and bam, it'll take you to America Talk Live, our umbrella, and you'll see us in live and living color. And me,
in living color,
totally oversaturated with light tonight. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's this wonderful shirt. And I want to thank my wardrobe faculty for setting me up with this bright white and green shirt.
Thank you, Wardrobe, for hooking us up.
Wardrobe provided by our official sponsors each and every week here on The Marijualogist, Green Crosses. Let's give them a rousing round of applause. And thank you, Wardrobe.
Thank you, Wardrobe Department from Green Crosses.
Yes.
I gotta give me one of those.
Yeah, you need one. All right, so we're back to the show tonight. Our one and only focus is with marijuana mindfulness, elevated guided meditation class. Deepen your meditation practice with a little bit of ganja.
The next one is actually
Deepen your
tomorrow.
meditation practice with cannabis and community.
Yeah.
Love that part.
You
because
might get
really,
some snacks.
You know, cannabis is community.
Yeah,
no doubt.
Definitely.
It really is that kind of thing where people kind of get together and they feel good about themselves. They feel good about the people they're meeting.
Yep.
They're more relaxed. You know, it's not like alcohol. Where people get the ramming, as we used to call it back in the day. With cannabis, you don't see that. People are more relaxed, more laid back. And then when you think about the fact that just because you smoke cannabis, I mean, your message is the absolute antithesis of what people think about when they think about cannabis patients and or recreational users. It's the antithesis of that. I mean, the absolute opposite.
Yeah.
To the extent that, you know, you think we smoke and just sit around. No. Some of us smoke and go work out. That does happen.
That does
That's
happen.
Real. It does happen, right?
Yeah, it does happen.
Right. I just did it today. I work out and I smoke, you know?
Yeah.
And then I also do my herbs. And I drink my juices, my water.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, for sure.
And I stay away from all that bullshit as much as I can. You know?
Yeah.
And you found a way to infuse that particular component of the cannabis movement into a great class. We've been showing some great images of what you all do in your classrooms. incredible stuff.
Thank you. Yeah, and I would like to believe that this is, this is a growing image of how people, connotate cannabis culture, people who consume it. I think that people are just speaking about it more. Again, especially it depends on where you are as well. But out here in LA, I always say this is such a unique place. Just because of the history of the culture of cannabis here and how prevalent it still is, and how though it's changing, it's evolving. And so, but still, it's still just a very present culture. And so with these classes and with that whole culture, it's still encompassing components of that sharing, that self-awareness, that feeling good, feeling relaxed, feeling light, feeling love.
Very strong sense of
That
community
hippie
out here,
vibe.
no matter where you are.
Yeah,
if you're
for
willing
sure.
to invest in the community,
Yeah.
the community will indeed embrace you here in Los Angeles.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Ikkor knows this because he is a transplant like I am.
Yes.
Yeah.
Detroit, Michigan in the building.
Yep.
Yeah.
Detroit burst everybody.
He was Detroit Mitch before Mitch became a strange reference.
You did. Mitch.
He was Detroit Mitch.
Yeah.
Mitch.
Yeah. And that's Michigan. Right?
That's right.
And, Detroit has its own culture when it comes to
Oh,
cannabis. And he's very connected to both the East Coast,
Okay.
or let's say the Midwest part of it, and
Yeah.
the West Coast part of it. Because you
Yeah.
actually relate to a lot of different dispensaries
South.
who are
East
out
Coast.
there on the front line,
Yeah.
trying to keep their place open.
Yeah.
Working hard to create not just a community-based business that
Yeah.
employs people,
And
Yeah.
they
but
know a
a tax
lot.
provider.
And they do know a lot up there. But
Yeah.
but I know some guys some people that are deep in the game. They're heavy, for
Michigan?
for Michigan's sake.
Okay.
But yet when I come there and provide the knowledge that I know and learn out here, and they're like, "Oh, you need to come on back home, man, because all the stuff that you know and learning out there, man." He said, "You'll come back here and just go and blow it up."
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't have to be back. We can still network and
Yeah.
still do it,
And you don't want
Yeah.
to
put my stake in there and just
there's
come
weight
back
to
and
being
collect
a
my money.
kingpin
No.
too. You don't want to go back there and be a kingpin.
No,
No.
exactly.
Not a good look in Detroit right now.
Not at all.
Yeah.
But it'll still be, it would still be legal,
Yeah.
I wouldn't just go there and just do that if that was the case. I would make sure I got all my T's crossed and I's
Well,
dotted.
but let's drill down into that, and if
Sure.
you could hold on for a moment, I want to talk to Ikkor about this because
Oh,
I know
Lord.
I know that there have been some recent kick-ins and knockdowns and raids, copperies on cannabis collectives out here, dispensaries, hard-working business owners, once again, who provide an alternative to big harm solutions right in the community, and that employ people right in the community,
right, and
and
mind
give them
you-
this alternative.
And mind you, it's
and-
not like they're
and yet
hiding.
they're still being raided. I don't get this.
They're not
part of it.
hiding. They got a big green cross on the building. They're right
Yeah.
there. It's not, so like
And
really.
this is still going on, Ikkor, because I know you have some reports
Yeah.
from the street, in all deference to,
Yes, this is some things been going on,
things
you
still
know?
going on. I don't understand this.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, I was gonna say actually, I was at
How's that happening?
the LA Cannabis Task Force, a wonderful organization.
We know them well.
Yes,
You
last
know Ruben.
night they had. I'm most familiar with Ariel Clark.
that's
Ariel,
Yeah,
she's been a regular
Yeah.
returning champion here.
So
on
right
the
there where you
Marijualogist.
sit.
I already believe it.
Yeah.
She's
Love
dope,
her.
and
Shouts out, Ariel.
yeah, shouts out.
Shout out
to
to Ariel Ruben.
But last night it was very informative and very real in terms of just like you're saying. I mean, we have businesses that are operating and above ground. Yeah, like they are out here. But
Women above ground. Shout out to
Shout out to
Women above
Bonita
ground.
Money.
Women above
Yes.
ground.
Bo
Bonita
Money
Money.
sat right there. You know Bonita Money.
I'm familiar with her.
She
Yes.
sat right there where you sitting right there as well.
Dope.
And you're going through the learning process. I want you
Yeah,
to continue,
absolutely.
please.
And now
Absolutely.
Jana's sitting there. You did.
But they were talking about and stressing just the importance of this time right now, because we're in this limbo phase where there are operating businesses, but technically no one has a permit to fully operate. And what was voted in with Measure M is voters saying, like, not only do we want to be able to use it, but also have a regulated system for businesses to safely and efficiently operate.
Right.
And that's definitely, I'm keeping up with this because I definitely want to have that to be part of my business, to also have access for cannabis and cannabis products. And so being mindful of like where we are right now is very key because we're in limbo. And so Like, seriously.
Up under the mic, limbo up under the mic. You know
Yeah,
what
so
I'm saying?
no businesses have permits for real. And so that's what's like present right now, priority with the
So
LA
they call-
Cannabis Task Force.
so they're like pop-ups.
Yeah, yeah,
They're basically
exactly.
pop-ups.
It's to create
Extended
a structure,
pop-ups.
yeah, where businesses can have permits in the city of Los Angeles that go along with the state already saying, you know, that it's good. But that's what we're currently in limbo with and happening. But it's happening, and I appreciate people like
And do you
Ariel
see a
and those-
resolution? How,
Yeah, exactly.
How
And they've
optimistic
had-
are you about that?
I'm very optimistic because it's very clearly outlined what the proposal is as far as what we want. And it's also in line with what voters have voted in the city and the state. And so
Can you
it's now it's
enumerate,
just
elucidate? Can you kind of
I
clarify
there's
what
10
is it?
points
Yep.
that the task force, along with these other two organizations, I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's
That's
out
right.
there. But they have put together these 10-point proposals for the LA City Council so that a clear and like specific outline can be had that tells businesses, number one, you have a permit to operate. So there's an application process and you can get a permit to operate legally. Because when you're dealing with, you know, investing in real estate and investing in all these other things, like people need these paperwork so that they can know, like, this is legit, this is sanctioned, you're not going to just shut down next month.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And so this is about, again, being recognized as respectable business owners and operators in the city that contribute to the city just like any other business, right?
They really do.
Right. So now it's like, you know, actually outline it so that we can be in the clear and not in this, oh, maybe you have immunity if you get raided, you can use this as your defense.
Right.
You know, but at that point,
It's all a game.
yeah, exactly. So it's like, this is real, this is so present here. And now we're in this like really critical point of when these laws have been passed, but also this needs to be defined. There was the 60-day hearing period, and that's ending like the first week of August, I believe.
Right.
So that's why right now it's like there's going to be a rally. There's going to be just movement contacting your, you know, neighborhood council, your councilman that's for your wherever you live or where you want your business to be,
Right.
and really letting these people who are going to write out these proposals, you know, letting them know where we're coming from, the benefits holistically all around of having this be structured.
Now, you know, can you hear me?
Absolutely.
Because I can't hear myself in the mic here. I don't know what
Really?
happened.
I'll tell you what. No, what you need to do is just check your headphones, make sure the plug is tight in there, and then
There we
turn your
go.
headphones up. There we go.
Well,
yeah.
no, well, no, here we go.
Yeah. Did you
But,
fix it though? Is it
yeah,
steady
yeah, I can
now?
hear now. I can hear now.
Rock steady, baby.
Yeah, but I was
That's what
saying
I'm feeling now.
we've had people here from Colorado.
Yeah.
And in reference to what you're speaking on, and none of them really ever spoke about. And I was just in Denver about a month or so ago, and nobody spoke about like kick-ins and shutdowns. None of that. They're
Yeah.
thriving so
Yeah.
wonderfully.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Why can't we get there? And we are the biggest,
You know?
like, providers.
Well,
you
wait
know,
a minute now.
of-
Wait a
of-
minute. Wait a minute. I think we might be being a bit.
No, we are there. Don't get me wrong.
impatient and
Yeah, it's
and
happening,
a bit
for sure.
premature. Yeah, some of these cities, let's keep in mind, aren't Los Angeles.
Yeah.
They're
Right.
not
Yeah.
the
Right,
second
that's true.
largest city in the country.
That's true.
Absolutely.
The fifth, maybe seventh largest economy in the globe.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have the gang and drug problems that are endemic to Los Angeles.
True.
Absolutely.
And that's no diss to LA, but baby,
Yeah, this is a unique
when you come out
place.
here,
Very
Yeah.
unique.
Yeah.
you better keep your game tight.
Keep
I'm
your
here
game
to
tight,
tell
or you be over there with a
Yeah.
tent, or with a grocery basket and tent up on this
And
month, or going back
much
home.
to your dismay, let me burst your bubble. It does rain in Southern California. Yeah.
In many ways.
Some people
Right.
do walk in LA. And
Believe
the
it.
bus system has gotten better. I gotta testify myself.
And it's not a movie star on every
Amen.
corner.
Right.
Trust
Right.
that.
So
It's a whole
those
nother
cities
beast out here.
have the latitudes
Yeah.
to say, okay, let's unleash this
Yeah.
for the sake of the tax benefits.
Yeah.
And the things that will bring in terms of jobs and further tax benefits
Yeah.
through taxpayers. I get that part.
Yeah.
In LA, you've got to be more careful. And I think one of the things to the credit of Los Angeles City Council and all its council members over the years who've helped to legislate and re-legislate these laws as it pertains to L.A. specifically.
Mm-hmm.
That way I don't have to drive all the way up to San Francisco just to get a decent dime.
Yeah.
Hey.
Gotta go way. No, just way in the valley from, 'cause
Right.
you got one collective that, it's only
One
4
of the
collectives
things
in the
that
whole
the
city.
LA City Council did, and to their credit, is where they were very, very circumspect. They looked at this issue from a 360-degree angle.
Yeah.
That's what circumspect means.
Believe it.
Not to wax pedantic.
I love it.
But that said, they were very careful.
He's an etymologist. Not only is he an marijualogist, he's an etymologist as well.
They were very careful.
Yeah.
And how they laid out the rules and how cannabis could be dispensed. Therefore, the dispensary system. It did get buck wild.
Yeah, no doubt. And it's still going crazy. 'cause he's still
Authorized
getting
187
pop-ups.
collectives, and then came a legal beagle who figured out a loophole, and then from 187 it became 1,000, and now you got a
87.
collective near your kid's school. You like that?
You got a collective
No.
inside the collective.
You got a collective near your, your
I saw-
playground.
I saw 3
You like
collectives
that?
in one plaza.
Right.
3 different collectives in one plaza.
Now
Side
you
by
got a
side.
collective
I do see
near
clusters of
your granddad's
collectives,
or
They
your
take your
grandma's.
choice. J3.
Now you got a collective near a nursing home.
Right.
That's sketchy at best.
The nursing home is collective now. They're like, look, come on to this door.
So,
Let's go to that room.
you know,
Ask some
LA
mama,
City
ask some
Council
mama.
was very smart and
Yeah.
very circumspect in their take on how they were going to unleash this
Yeah.
beast to the city.
It's definitely a process.
And it's a good
still-
idea, and I
yeah.
think you speak to that. Sorry.
Yeah, and I appreciate just being able to be a part of this and to be able to go and see how things are changing, and the therapists as well with
part of
the
history.
Have a ear,
Yeah,
have an ear,
absolutely.
and have a voice. system.
Absolutely.
It's part of history.
Yeah, it is. And that's why I really do appreciate the people who are working and doing all of those things for businesses to thrive, for patients to be able to thrive, and consumers, and this to be part of the culture for real, as it already is. Let's
come a
just
long
like
way,
acknowledge
woman.
it, right?
You come a long way from that time that you told us about earlier, Come a long way.
But
All right.
yeah, it's a lot of love.
Let's
It's a
get
lot
back
of
to
love.
marijuana mindfulness.
Sure.
Elevated, guided
Yes,
meditation
yes.
classes.
Snacks. Healthy snacks. Complimentary
Yeah,
cannabis.
I actually brought some. I always have this dip. So I
Cape Cod chips over there. You know what I'm saying? She shared her salt and vinegar chips on the air with me.
Yuck. Anyway.
He said yuck.
Cape
James don't like it either.
I love
What are
salt
Cape
and
Cod
vinegar.
chips?
Hey man,
What
I was
does
just
that
hungry. I
taste
got the
like?
munchies. That's not my first choice. I'll get Lay's
Man,
barbecue.
just give it up and just be like
Shameless
on some
plug.
Lay's or some,
Give me some Lay's
Hers
barbecue.
or
Salt and vinegar.
Or the
It's
Cro-
a childhood
or the
thing.
Kroger got a brand too, though. Little barbecue
give
Kroger
it
brand.
a break. Why
It's
don't
definitely a childhood nostalgia
That's
thing,
what it is.
but
That's
I love it.
That's what it is.
you? All right.
But
Marijuana
anyways,
mindfulness.
yeah.
Give the dates.
So next one is actually happening tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
So you can again go to royalpurplehouse.com/classes.
Slow it down.
Royal Purple House.
That's that Tulsa, Oklahoma, on the home with it.
Stop
Hey, Royal
it,
Purple
man.
House.
Let her finish.
Royal Purple House. Mama, come on. We going to the Royal Purple House.
Royal Purple House, all spelled normally. One.
There it is.
.com/classes, and you can see the full calendar of all the classes, both the just meditations as well as the yoga and meditation classes. So tomorrow's my next class, and actually I posted about this today on Instagram, but every time we have a mantra or a theme that we really just focus in on, and tomorrow is all about balance. And, it just reminds me of cannabis and how it even works in our bodies. And
No
it's,
doubt.
it's really about, providing a space of homeostasis everywhere that, we find these receptors in our bodies
No
for
doubt.
cannabinoids. And that's science, but also you feel it in your mood and your energy and your attitude. And you really do have a better appreciation for balance. At least I do.
A lot of
So.
people that are new on it, they still don't know what it's doing to them. They're like,
Yeah.
I still don't understand. I don't.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I had to tell my mother. I was like, well, then she said, you know what? As a matter of fact,
Yeah.
I had this particular pain. I was always da-da-da-da-da,
Yeah.
and it's not there no more. And
Yeah.
I was like, because that's what's happening.
Yeah,
happening for you.
yeah. And that's why I really promote and talk about mindful consumption, because it's such a powerful and beneficial thing that, like, if we're not really present with it and mindful of how great it is and how it really is working with us. However, whether you're into the science of it, whether you're into the emotional side, the mental, whatever it is for you, start there and just let your education expand with your own experience, or maybe just researching some quality, research out there. But staying in the loop with it in yourself as well when you're a consumer is really important to really, I think, get the most benefit from it.
No doubt.
So I think that combining it with meditation, combining it with yoga, combining it with aromatherapy is really just another just enhancement level that feels so beautiful and blissful. And when you practice that, it allows you to really just live from that space more easily.
So off camera, she said she's going to show us a yoga move where she can just actually suspend on the wall, and they do a handstand on the wall without touching anything, just on the brick wall.
Just
I've done that. That's not impressive. No, that's not going to
That's the
impress me.
mindfulness of her. She's got that power.
No, yeah. Well,
She
let her
said
know.
she's gonna do it.
I've already done that on that wall. Are you kidding? Nah, do something. Nah, that's not impressive.
You've done
She's going to walk on
If you
every
wanna
edge of
impress
the bricks
me,
on the wall that are flat. She can do it with mindfulness.
Let's talk. If you want to impress,
no, but this is a Colombian woman speaking, though.
Yeah.
You know? Straight Colombian.
If you want
With
to
a Colombian
impress
man, right?
me,
And Colombian man
check
over
this out.
here.
Let's talk about.
we got Michelle and Barack over here in the house. James, Jana.
If you want to impress us and the audience, let's talk about some of the patients who can be benefited by the classes that you do. Because you got to keep in mind, there are a lot of men and women out there who are coming back from foreign wars. And some of them are having struggles reacclimating and reconnecting with society, even at the familial level, even at the nuclear level, right? Let's talk about some of the folks I know. Oh, boy.
Oh, God.
I hit something, really?
I love this.
Okay, go.
Because
Speak on it.
it really is about connection. And I say connection to yourself first, and then connection to everything that you see outside of yourself, everything that's part of your life experience. That's the people, the places, wherever you find yourself, the work you're engaged in, whatever it is, your whole life is reflective of that connection and that peace within. And so when you talk about people with, and I just want to say, I talk about cannabis, essential oils, and these practices in a positive and affirmative way, not usually about how it can help ailments, but more so how it can support the systems that are already in you.
Spiritual energy.
Exactly. The spirits, the systems in you, physically, mentally, spiritually, are all meant for your well-being. So it's about...
God blessed us with these.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's all inside. We hear that. It's become cliche in some circles, but it's true.
For real.
It's a basic, just
Once
like...
you tap into your mental, the hierarchy of the mind,
right?
Man, you can go on. For one, I mean, because by us have a major in psychology, but your mind can take you on so many trips that literally you cannot even come back on.
Yeah.
You know, if you just like really snap like that, you can really go there.
Yeah. And so in the meditations, I definitely emphasize being kind to yourself, being gentle with yourself, because when you go into a space of stillness and quiet within yourself, all types of stuff come up.
Clarity.
When you go
Clarity.
when you go into a pose that's uncomfortable for you, it's just like life. Going into a situation that's uncomfortable.
That's a good assessment.
All types of stuff come up.
That's a beautiful assessment.
So when you have that mindfulness piece of it, and you're able to be kind and loving to yourself, which helps when you're smoking cannabis, it really allows you to just see it and let it go and not attach yourself to these things that come and go. It's not who you are, you know?
And all that's vibrations.
It's vibrations.
It's positive vibrations, frequencies.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And again, to get back to the idea of some of the patients that you
right,
address,
but yes, absolutely. And so
obviously
people who
some veterans, right?
so I do appreciate the word dis-ease because that's really what any ailment is. It's this dis-ease somewhere in your body, mind, spirit that you feel on some level. And so people who feel and claim to have dis-eases, with this marijuana, with mindfulness, yoga, meditation, and all of that, it really allows you to see it from a different perspective. Because again, first you go into yourself in this space of calm and presence and peace and love and joy and playfulness and, all these beautiful things. And from there, if things come up, you see it from a different light.
Right.
And I can't claim to know everyone's experience in meditation, and I always say it's a very personal practice.
Exactly.
But I do know my own experience and conversations I have with so many people who engage in this practice that it's a bridge to changing your perspective on life, on yourself first, on your relationships, on your relationships with cannabis. And even with that, it's such a space where we can talk freely and consume freely cannabis. And you know, especially as laws are changing too, like we have to embrace and actually exercise the freedoms and not, you know, kind of like rid ourselves of the shame. I think that's part of it too.
Yeah, exactly. Like we said earlier,
that is in fact
we spoke it earlier. It was like
part,
ain't no shame.
Exactly.
In the game,
Exactly. And as responsible adults who consume it in ways that enhance your life and you actually appreciate and can acknowledge that this is good for me. Like I feel good when I consume cannabis, however you do it. When you can, you know, acknowledge that with yourself, it's just, it's freeing. And again, it's like I'm responsible. I still do my life.
I was getting ready to use the
like
word.
I'm still out here doing stuff.
With responsibility comes with this.
Yes, and smiling and enjoying it too. Maybe
All
you know,
all vibrations.
Exactly.
Positive vibrations.
Exactly.
You know, to shine. Let the light shine inside.
Let the light shine.
Let it in.
Yeah.
Just a little herb.
How about we take one last break before we let our lovely and generous guests go? You've been incredibly generous to hang around so long, but I want to spend the last portion of the show, we got about a few minutes left, talking about your business. Let's keep promoting that because that's really important for us because you've, again, been so generous to join us here.
You got to
on
smell it so smooth and calm in here. I was just so relaxed over here, like, really?
Right.
Yes, I love it.
You don't even know where you are right
I don't even know where I am. The mayor of who? The mayor of what? Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Well, while we sort that
That's
out.
James coming up. I went to Columbia. I'm from LA. I was on LA Talk Live, and now I'm running for mayor of Tulsa.
More from the Marijualogist after this. Don't go
We're
away.
Columbia. We're Columbia. We're Columbia.
We know there are many choices in internet radio, and the staff and host of LA Talk Live would like to thank you for choosing the internet's hottest destination for the most eclectic sound and invigorating talk. This is LA Talk Live. We are more than just talk.
What up, though? This your man, Ikkor the Wolf, inviting you to join me every first Friday, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for the Wolf's Den at LATalkLive.com. Now join me as I spotlight some of the hottest talent of all genres of music. So don't forget to tune in every first Friday, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, exclusively on LATalkLive.com and the AmericaTalkLive.com broadcast network. Reality radio handcrafted for your listening and viewing pleasure. This is LA Talk Live. We are more than just talk. Get it?
Want to enrich in your radio listening? Do it now with the new WDC radio show, LA Talk Live's new talk, rock radio show, Saturdays 4 p.m. Pacific, filled with news, talk, sports, entertainment, and more. Tune in as we fill your weekend with rock and funk from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and today. WDC radio show. Listen as we kick off the new generation of radio with talk, rock, and funk. The all-new WDC radio show, Saturdays 4 p.m. Pacific on LA Talk Live.
We're calling you out.
Sickle cell warriors, leaders, doctors, and caregivers.
This is the call.
Tune in to the call Saturdays at 5 p.m. Pacific, only on LA Talk Live.
This is the call.
To sickle cell trait awareness.
This is the call.
To acceptance of yourself and others around you.
This is the call.
To finding your purpose through creativity.
This is the call.
To living above sickle cell.
This is the call to unity in community.
So call in 323-473-3100 to
The Call.
Saturdays 5 p.m. Pacific, only on LA Talk Live.
This is the call.
My English marijuana. You can pass a fire. I could catch a fever. Turn up all them diva. You can call me leader. President Obama. Follow me to Zion. My Mexican connection. My reggae inspiration. My one love nation. New generation. It's a celebration. I smoke in the session.
Yeah, we back live on the Friday night at I was gonna say at the Wolves Den on the Marijualogist, and what you hear in the background is my man Pablo, Jamaican artist. I met this brother at Venice Beach, and he was out there hustling his music, which I got much respect and big ups to because he's grinding, and I'm an artist as well, MC. But I was telling him about the station and everything, what we're about, and he was like, "Yo, if you like my music, do that," and I just laughed. Like, all right, brother. And I walked away. And so I had it for a few weeks. And I had attempted to listen to it the other day. And I heard the first song. I was like, damn, it's nice. And then I just kept going. Today I put it back in and kept going. It was still in there the whole time. And I just actually listened to it. I'm like, wow, this guy got some shit. And then as I'm driving up here, I heard this song. I'm like, oh, this is a weed song. I'm like, okay, let's go ahead and give it a shout out today. So we're airing it for
I just got to keep it real, man. You might not have known this, but you actually met Fetty Wap. He fell on hard times.
Right.
CDs
right.
on the beach.
That was Confetti Wap. He Confetti Wap. Yeah, man, got a new name now, man. They own that word now, man. No, he talking like lately on that thing. He got an auto. He talking with an auto tune. I'm telling you, man, they got that old name. I'm Confetti Wap now.
I got to tell you, you got to be careful on Venice Beach. But anyway, welcome back to tonight's live episode.
That's one of them names to be in the Wayans movie, one of the spoof movies.
Of the Marijualogist, the world's only show that explores the global impact of cannabis on California and the entire world. Humble host Rich Karr, esteemed colleague Ikkor the Wolf.
Along with the rapper Jana.
Hold up, wait, no. Next Friday now, live episode of the Wolves Den, right?
Yes, sir.
All new acts?
All new acts.
Word.
Except me, the oldest act over there.
You the oldest act.
The oldest act, I'm there. It's always me. It's always me. If nobody else there, it's me.
That's
nobody
all right.
There, I'll give you me.
As long as you're there.
But I'm entertaining.
That matters.
I'm entertaining to watch.
Your act matters too.
My act matters too.
We got Triple J on the mic. That's J to the tray. Marijuana mindfulness. Elevate did guided meditation classes.
Giving us snacks.
Come on now. Knock it off. Knock it off. Elevated guided meditation classes. And this is really infusing cannabis with meditation and yoga. So again, we're not just lazy layabouts, smoking a blunt or a J or eating a brownie or something, whatever,
doing some
laying around all day. We are people who are active, and I got to tell you, Triple J, you look triple in shape. You obviously
yoga doing
talk
something.
To talk, but you walk to walk.
You got your eyelashes in shape. Got your eyebrows in shape. You got them things raised up.
That's funny.
Stand up, bros. No, I'm just messing with you.
Yeah, gotta keep active. Your mind, your body, your spirit, your energy, your whatever you're working on, you gotta keep it moving. So the marijuana mindfulness is one of the classes that I'm hosting right now, and co-hosting cannabis and mindfulness, yoga and meditation. All cannabis enhanced, all lovely, great people, great vibes. There's always healthy, fun snacks.
That's what I'm You got some snacks, boy.
I know, right?
Boy,
but you got to.
My
people smoking, they want to eat.
Trees and snacks
right?
go together, man.
Yeah.
My nickname for him is Chips. You got some tater chips around.
Oh, smash.
About it.
Boy. I'm talking about they got the complimentary cannabis, though. They're giving out bags.
There's always good herb. And always for each class, we and I, for the mindful meditations, go to the dispensary and mindfully pick out a strain to complement the practice that we were having that's coming up. And
kind of bliss.
Yeah, so it's definitely intentional, the class, the space, and all the components of it. Because we really want to cater to this community, to this culture, and serve it in a way that it deserves.
Now, are you the boss of this? Are you the shot caller?
Yeah, well, okay.
Shot callers, as you rascal, the shot caller.
None of those are good words in Jamaican. Okay.
I'm just using Jamaican words.
That's not good
He
stuff.
gonna get politically correct on me.
Don't really want to do that, yeah.
Quiet.
That's not good.
Anyway.
Those aren't good words.
But so the bigger picture here that I'm developing, creating, building is Royal Purple House. And it's really a holistic wellness space center where people can come to engage in these holistic practices like the meditation, the yoga, aromatherapy, massage therapy, where you can have food. I want to have plant-based foods. Also, where you can have the products. And that's why I'm so much in this pipeline of becoming a licensed business owner to dispense marijuana. I want that to be a part of this bigger vision of holistic wellness, because it really is about how we're living and enjoying our lives.
Right.
And cannabis is a component of that. And it's a very powerful bridge and fun way to experience that more and to get into a space of that more easily and more joyfully and in community with other people.
I like it. I like it a lot.
I saw her. We always do things off camera, but that's when the magic happens off camera. But she levitated out of her seat off camera.
Really?
I was like, wow. And then James, his hat just levitated.
Kind of missed that.
And it came back down. I was like, what the fuck? Only on the Marijualogist, baby, but off camera.
All right, so we've got exactly about 9 minutes to get this all wrapped up. I want to get your banner back up on the screen here.
Sure.
And I want you to plug the event once again. It's like
Yes.
4 different weeks.
4 different dates.
Starting
Yes.
tomorrow.
So there's 2 classes. There's 2 events, things that you can come out and be a part of here in LA. One is the enhanced meditations, guided meditations. That's every Saturday. So that's the green one here. Tomorrow.
They all green, girl. They all green.
Right, they all green everywhere.
Does that mean we can smoke them?
But pardon, no.
You can roll the weed. You can roll your trees off of it.
Right. But yeah, so that's happening tomorrow, next weekend, and the following weekend. The other class is the yoga and meditation that I co-host with Manelli. She is a ganja enhanced yoga instructor. So together we do yoga and meditation. That's cannabis and mindfulness every other Saturday evening. And that's also a different vibe because the yoga and meditation is an evening vibe. So it's like, lit lighting is pretty dim. There's candles, oils burning, all of that vibe. And it's an evening thing for people who want to get into that still communal space, but who aren't trying to like go to a club or whatever and want to have this space of mindfulness.
So August 5th is a Saturday, actually.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's our next class.
And then August 19th is a Saturday as well.
Yep, these are Saturdays.
Okay.
And so that's the yoga and meditation. But the meditations, that's just meditation, that's actually a morning time. And that's a great vibe too because it's Saturday mornings and people, it's like just a great way to kind of get your weekend started in this space of peace.
Okay, Saturday morning and then
yeah, those
Saturday
are
night.
Saturday mornings.
Gotcha.
And then the other one is every other Saturday evening.
Before we go, I'd like to go back to something I mentioned earlier about diversity in these classes.
Absolutely.
And I want to be very frank and clear about this. Hey, black folk, y'all can come out to this and have a really wonderful time.
Yeah.
You don't have to sneak off to the backyard
Yeah.
and smoke a joint
Yeah.
and then go back into your living room and pop in the DVD
Yeah.
for a yoga class. You can literally come and fellowship. And the one thing about Los Angeles is when you're out here fellowshipping, man, you never know who you're going to meet. Right?
You never know.
Right?
That part.
That's how I met, actually. That's how Manelli and I ended up collaborating. I was just out here, and I'm finding people online who are doing stuff in this industry that I liked. She was already hosting her classes. I went to one. I communicated with her, and we just started vibing from there. And then when I started with my meditations, I invited her out. She loved it, and immediately after that class, she's like, we need to do something together.
Right. See,
and
teamwork divides the
happening.
effort and multiplies
It's happening.
the effect.
I've had so many great connections with this industry, with this plant out here in LA. Like you said, just go into the places that you enjoy, the places and the people that you enjoy. There's so many niches out here. So, it's a great way to be responsible, recreational users in community, for sure.
That's right. For sure.
So I think that's about it.
Cool.
She covered it all.
Let's put a bow on this, man.
I love it.
I love it.
Thank you all.
I want to take a moment out once again to acknowledge our good friends over at Eddie Funkster West Coast. Shout outs to Pure Grow. Shout outs to Pot Plus. Shout out to our good friend who we did not acknowledge earlier.
Sherry Bell.
That's right.
Sherry Bell.
The Share Bear, right? She calls herself.
Sherry Bear over there, the kind of cool chick.
Sherry Bell.
She's a kind of cool chick, cannabis cool chick.
With the Shaman Jellies.
The Shaman Jellies, and she also is the Eye Care Advocate Company.
Right. Let's shout out our sponsors for tonight. And that would be, of course, as always,
Oh,
Green
yeah,
Crosses.
For sure. Green Crosses. We got CBG Genetics out there, who was here last week too. Heather from
Shout
over
out.
there. Heather Nall.
And one more time, Marijuana Mindfulness.
Yes. Everything can be found at royalpurplehouse.com/classes. We're also on Instagram, royalpurplehouse_. So comment, connect with me. I love talking to all you beautiful people. So yes.
I want to thank you for coming out tonight. I want to thank our studio guests as well for being so patient, hanging around. I want to thank you for hanging around with us as
Well,
long
thank
as you
James
have
for coming
as
from.
well.
He was on
Thank you,
Facebook
James.
Live. He was on Facebook Live.
Instagram Live.
Or Instagram Live.
And then he came
He like,
live
I'm coming
for
to my
real.
baby. Baby, I'm coming.
Why you
Don't
giving out
worry.
his- Why
I'm
you giving
coming.
out his slave name, man? Come on, homie.
Huh?
I'm only kidding.
He said, baby, I'm coming.
I'm only
I'll be
kidding.
right there. You just hold it.
All right, that's our show
James
for tonight,
Beard.
ladies and
Thanks,
gentlemen.
James.
We'll be off next week.
That's a good man.
But
Great
coming up
man.
the following
Great
week,
man.
we'll be back
It
in
is.
full bloom in our regular schedule. So be sure to stay tuned. More from the Marijualogist in a couple weeks. I'm Richard Karr, Ikkor the Wolf, and the lovely Triple J from
Triple J.
Marijuana Mindfulness.
You.
Thank you, guys. Yeah.
Thank you.
And do not smoke and drive. Feel that?
No doubt.
I hear
Live
you.
to mind.
I hear you.
Players of instrumental. Legalizing, yeah, that's the best thing you can do. Doctor smoking, nurses smoking, judges smoking, even the lawyer too. So you got to legalize it and don't criticize it. Legalize it, yeah, and I will advertise it for the good for asthma, good for tuberculosis, even pneumorrhaphosis. So you got to legalize it. Don't criticize it. Legalize it, yeah, and I will advertise it. Birds eat it and love it. Fowls eat it. And the goats love to play with it.
Thank you for tuning into LA Talk Live and the Talk Live Broadcast Network, original reality radio, handcrafted for your listening and viewing pleasure. This is LA Talk Live, and we are more than just talk. Stay tuned.